Welcome to the Steve Stine Guitar Podcast, brought to you by guitar-Zoom.com. If you want to improve your guitar playing, keep listening. If you want to improve even faster, go to guitar-Zoom.com, where you'll find all of Steve's premium courses, masterclasses, and memberships that'll help you quickly and easily improve your playing. Now here's your host, Steve Stine.
Let me know if you have any issues with hearing me or seeing me or anything like that. Just throw it in the chat so I can see you. What we're going to be talking about today is what to practice and how to think about your practice when you don't have a lot of time. Okay, sometimes when you go to practice, especially during the holidays and things like that, there's just not a lot of time. And then people say, well, what am I supposed to work on? If I only have 10 minutes a day or something like that, what is it that I should be trying to work on? And so I thought that might be a good thing for us to talk about today. So just let me know if you can see me okay. I'm on my laptop today. I've got a bunch of other stuff going on too, but I just thought I would do this quick. Hey, everybody, can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? Just making sure. Awesome. Hey, Noel. Hey, Furba. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, VJ. Sam. Okay, cool. Let me know that you can hear me okay. All right, good. Okay, so anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this really silly picture here, and we're going to talk about this. Now, before I get started, I want to thank one of my guitar students from last week who we got into this conversation, and that's why I thought it might be really good to talk about it with you. So what we were talking about is, what is it? Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. What do we do when we don't have a lot of time to practice? What is it that we're supposed to focus on, right? So what was really interesting is he thought that my answer would be like focusing on scales and things like that. And before I even get started with this conversation, please understand, I'm just giving you some suggestions. That's all. You can practice anything that you want, as much or as little as you want. These are just things to think about a little bit. Merry Christmas to you too, Jeff. Thank you, Jacob, Ross, John, Aaron, everybody out there. Okay, so I'm going to show you this really terrible picture of, let's say you were a little kid and you were drawing a picture of a sun when you were a kid, which it almost looks like should be like a nucleus or something. But think about that, okay? Think about that picture. So what we've got here for my analogy of your practice is really three parts, okay? There's the core, the inside, the center, okay? And then there's the fringe. Now, there's two parts to the fringe. There's the inside fringe, which is close to the core, and then there's the outside fringe, okay? So we think about the core, the nucleus, right? And then we've got the fringe. We've got the inner fringe, and we've got the outer fringe. Now, what I have found from my many years of teaching guitar is that a lot of times students get this, and I shouldn't say students, just guitar players in general, they get this thought in their mind that they have to be so good at things before they can actually move on to the next level in their guitar playing, right? I have to be really good at scales, or I need to understand all my theory before I join a band, or before I jam with some of the other musicians, or before I write music or something like that. And the problem with that mentality is that you're probably never going to be good enough. Like, there's not going to be a day where you wake up and go, all right, now I know everything and I can do everything. Now I can make my step out and start playing in a band, or whatever it might be, just using these as analogies. That doesn't happen. Okay, what you need to focus on is the core. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit. With many of the students that I've had before, certainly my overachievers, which I find a lot with guitar playing, is that they tend to focus a lot on the fringe. It's always, how fast can I do this, or can I sweep my arpeggios, or can I speed pick, or whatever. And these are all good things. Don't get me wrong. Okay.
I hope you're enjoying this episode so far and you're getting motivated to take your guitar playing to the next level. Please do me a favor and leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. It'll help the show grow and reach more rock stars like you who want to improve their guitar playing. Also, I'd love to know what parts of the episode you liked, as well as what you learned. So please share this podcast and tag us at guitarzoom.com on your social post. And now, let's get back to the podcast.
But let's talk about practice, okay? Now, the whole point of this is, what do you do when you don't have a lot of time to practice, right? So if you had 8 hours a day to practice, you could practice all of the things that you want to do, maybe, right? But if you have an hour, you don't have as much time. If you have a half an hour, you don't have as much time, okay? If you have 15 minutes, what can you get done in 15 minutes, right? So here's what I want you to think about. If we think about this picture right here, the core, the center, is who you are. And sometimes it's hard to define that, but it's the things that you know. If you didn't pick up a guitar for 6 months and you grabbed a guitar again and you started playing again, these things would still be there. You know, maybe they need a little tweaking and whatever, but they're still going to be there. They're you. When you wake up every day, you hopefully remember how to walk and remember how to talk and all these different kinds of things like that. When you move out to the fringes, the inner fringe is the things that you're trying to grasp and pull into the center, okay?
Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and make sure that you tune in tomorrow for the next part of this episode. And as always, stay positive and keep playing. If you enjoyed today's podcast and want to learn guitar even faster, go to guitarzoom.com and click the Get Started button to get access to courses that are right for your interest and skill level. Again, go to guitarzoom.com and click the Get Started button.